Welcome back. As a kid growing up in Portland, he had dreams of grand adventures traveling the globe. Those dreams turned into reality, and that reality turned into a new book for young readers.
Last week, author Steve Bramucci returned to the school where those dreams started to share his newest work, and Joey had a chance to catch up with him. And not only is he sharing this new book, Joey, but also really his kind of spirit of adventure.
Yeah, the book is called The Danger Gang and the Pirates of Borneo. Right? That just screams adventure, right? Well, it's inspired by his life on the road as a travel writer. And while the book is an exciting read, it also seeks to teach young readers, and maybe himself, that life isn't about the destination. It's about the journey and the adventures or misadventures you have along the way.
Thank you all so much for having me, by the way. This is really cool for me, but I actually went here to school when I was all of your age.
So this is the first time not only that you've been back in the school, but this is the first time you've been back in Mrs. Robinson's 4th grade class.
Yes. Yeah, it was different though, in that she sat up here, right?
Right, okay. Tell me about Steve as a child.
He was always ready for an adventure.
At what age did you start to see a love of reading develop in Steve?
He got into 5th grade and he read all of Mark Twain's books. Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn, and he just loved those. And that was sort of like the parameter that he used to define his life.
For me, ideas were always kind of happening and crackling, and stories were getting told inside my head, whether they were real or not. And when I walked around, I was telling stories to myself in this same neighborhood where you all go to school. And inside my head, I wasn't like a boy at Laurelhurst jumping off a curb. I was a master adventurer who was jumping off a cliff and avoiding piranhas. And you think to yourself, like, that's a cool thing, he must have been in 1st grade. No way, I was like in 8th grade.
What was your inspiration for Z10Z? Does Jeeves have a British accent? Why does Helen Zupan always speak in homonym?
Because I thought it was funny. And then have you finished the book, or no? Okay, at the end of the book, you'll see where maybe that pays off. But I'm not gonna tell you. Good question though. This sort of stuff that writing has allowed me to do, whether it's to travel or to connect with kids or to, visit schools across the country, is just an absolute joy. And I want to always be grateful for that. And I want to soak that in, and I want, it is the realization of some of those dreams. For me, dreams have always been the thing that kept me pushing in life. And if I didn't get to have those, if I didn't get to have wild fantasies about returning back to my grade school and talking to the kids, it just wouldn't be worth it. But sometimes those things come true, and it's amazing. There you go, Lucy.
Now, Steve Stop in Portland is part of his national book tour, where he is sharing his story and inspiring young readers around the country to follow their own sense of adventure. And ironically, Steve's about to embark on another adventure. His wife, Nikta, is pregnant with their first child and expecting a baby in 2 weeks.
That will make authoring a children's book pretty easy. All right, I got a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old. This seems perfect for that age.
It is right up their alley.
Yeah.
My 8-year-old just breezed through it. I mean, he hammered it, couldn't put it down. But the best part was that when he let me read it with him, I found, how like the Disney Pixar, where there's little nuggets for adults that's filled with, this book is filled with it. You can get it at any Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere online right now, and it's coming to bookstores in Portland too.
Love it.
Must have been a fun classmate, Steve.
Yeah.
Did he have that imagination back in the 4th grade?
Oh, you bet he did. Yeah, you're kind of blowing the cover here, though, Kathy.
What? Am I not supposed to say that you knew?
Oh no, absolutely.
I think it's darling.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, an old classmate Joey catches up with.
There you go.
If you do have a story idea for Joey's Journal, maybe you're a classmate with a story, you can email it to joeysjournal@kgw.com or post it on Joey's Facebook page.